everyone? This is James with Monotalk. It is May the 20th, 2025. A lot of people are kind of baffled, bewildered, and a little concerned about Dan Bonadingo and Kash Patel stating, I don't know why it's funny to me. It's like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? They stated, let's just listen to what they say. Let's just listen to what they say. Okay, let's just listen.
Defender as a prosecutor who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing. You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
This is a 180 for Patel and Bongino. In the past, both have given credit to the.
He killed himself.
System who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing. You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
This is a 180.
Yeah, it's a 180. It's everybody's kind of tripping out on that. What the hell? I mean, okay, let me get to this too, and this kind of correlates with what's going on out there, and I've got just a ton of people responding to this, 15 others. This post I put up, and I'll read it for you real quick. Just make sure you can see it. You can see. Yeah, you can see it. Okay. So what it says. I don't believe that the hearings in Congress do anything to anybody, as nobody's been charged with anything or been held accountable for anything during these hearings, ever. The frustration and intolerance in building quickly within MAGA is not a single Demoncrat or Republican has been or is being held legally accountable and or charged with a single criminal violation. Epstein killed himself? Seriously? J6 committee is still free. 350 deported out of the 15 million that were legally brought in through the illegitimate Biden administration. Still free, right? So the courts gave a pass to that. They can keep the 350 out, but there's still 15 million. Not a single person charged with anything regarding 2 assassination attempts. Upon Trump, and the list of literal nothing happening is becoming more and more pathetic, of no actual accountability. Please tell me that the theater is going to stop, and we're actually going to see some high-level Democratic Party criminals in handcuffs, or at least in an actual court being prosecuted. Please tell me or tell us that somebody is. Please, we're just, right? And I've got just so many people responding. All I know is POTUS is doing his part on steroids. The guy's a fucking machine. Trump is a machine. I get it. As far as Congress goes, I agree with you. Endless theater. Those who need to watch these hearings aren't just us chickens who've been this stuff and are chomping at the bit for the public tribunals. We're just waiting, right? We're just waiting. My response to him was, he's an effing machine. It takes time to build these cases so that will not fall, so that they will not fall apart. So we have to be patient. But the longer we wait, here's my concern, the more power the Demoncrats build, right? The more power, I'm just saying, the more they're able to hide and stuff and chomp and shred and redirect and all this other crap, it's like we're giving them time to shred information. It just seems like, it's like, I get it. We want it to to be quick, efficient, and now, because we all know, stuff like J6, Comey, Russia, the indictments, all the shit against Trump and all these felony bullshit that he had to go through. I mean, the list is fucking endless. The woke stuff, the fraud, sending money to fucking other countries for DEI or trans or child mutilation surgeries and, studies and all this other shit. Just crazy. I have this fantasy that one day Pam Bondi will, with a phalanx of prosecutors, it's like a barrage, is going to call a press conference on the Capitol steps and announce one big, beautiful RICO case. Because this is all about the RICO Act. Everything they've done and they've been doing for the past 4 years, this illegitimate Biden administration, and we all know it's illegitimate. We just know. I've got plenty of proof. I've got plenty of information to prove it. I've got tons and tons of information to show that it is. Trump even acknowledged it. I went over how COVID-19 helped create that. He even said it, but we had COVID, and they used COVID to cheat. And they did, right? And then here we are. We were processing. They allowed the steal. Electronic machine system, mail-in, absentee, time extensions, non-transparency, ballot moving and removing, all kinds of stuff. And they had so much time to do it because of COVID. How COVID-19 was used to allow, can you guys see that? Let me make sure you can see that. To allow more time to change and alter voting results. I mean, every state, especially the blue ones, had so much time to do that. I mean, there's just so much stuff. And if you go here, right, in the list I have, it's just tons and tons. These grapes are little. I just bought them yesterday. They're not very ripe, but it's weird. Like, for example, this is what Senator Mullins wants.
Not so much a cutting exercise. There may be savings involved, but the more important thing is that we get better outcomes from it, that we feel like our foreign aid and our giving is aligned with our foreign policy objectives in a specific region, in a specific country.
I think you said it best, national security interest. In words that maybe my colleagues from the other side wouldn't like to hear, but America first. Is it in our interest or is it not in our interest? And we're throwing so much wasteful taxpayer dollars out the door that even the taxpayers want accountability, in which they share dollars out the door that even the taxpayers want accountability, in which they should share dollars out the door that even the taxpayers want accountability, in which.
Yeah. We want accountability. We're just not seeing it. And I'm just seeing just so many people that are just completely pissed. Just thoroughly, absolutely, brazenly shaking their heads, wondering, what is going on? Am I watching? This is not my history. What the hell is this? This is so ass backwards sometimes. Yep, I am watching this though, for sure. I mean, for example, right here. 7 bizarre details of Epstein's accuser shocking death. How long is this? 26 minutes. I ain't going to watch that. But, right? Virginia Roberts Guilford has confirmed the 41-year-old has died. 3 weeks ago, Guilford posted to social media. And people are just like, could this line up any better for the Johns? That's the concern. And nothing ever came. It's like, okay, I've explained this over and over and over again. I've explained it many, many times. That usually, and here it is, usually what happens when there's a prostitution bust, they take the John down, the customer, the male or female, or male or female, whatever the case may be, for prostitution, right? And none of these people, not a single one on this list during the trial, was ever brought to justice for being a part of it, for participating in the criminal act of child sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein and his island and his other resorts. It wasn't just an island, by the way, everybody. It was pretty much everywhere. And you'll find that out later on if they do finally release the actual files that hopefully won't be redacted like crazy. It's the Johns, and nobody's seeing any of, not one. That is the most alarming thing. As I said, Las Vegas, great example. Reno, great example. Los Angeles, great example. New York, places where, like, you know, there are places that have prostitution. Like they have in Las Vegas, they have the chicken coops or hen nests. I forgot the name. I've never been one. Never had to get one, by the way. I don't know why. Just never had to. But it's interesting because in other cities and counties and states, I mean, in Colorado or Seattle or Chicago or, you know, Kansas City or wherever, prostitution is illegal, right? And what happens is they usually take the John down. They cite that person. They give them a pretty serious fine or even jail time. It's the, you know, and then when it comes to this, which is definitely underage, not a single person that participated physically in these acts was arrested, was charged, was mentioned. And I think there's the part of the file that I think is either, and these are my perspectives and other people's perspectives, and definitely a lot of people out there that are saying, if those people, it's obviously they're hiding it. Let's just get that on the fucking table, right? It's obvious. It's completely and unequivocally obvious that what they're trying to do is protect the Johns. They're trying to protect the participators, the customers. And this is very alarming, and I don't know if Trump sees this part. This is what kind of gets me the most is I'm trying to figure out if Trump knows or understands that part, or maybe he's part of, I mean, maybe, who knows? Didn't fucking Robert F. Kennedy go a bunch of times, and a few other people? I mean, a lot of the Capitol Hill elite, you know, in those days that were connected to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party participated. Something not Gumble. Anyway, I got a picture of it. See, even some of the newscasters went. Even some of the journalists went on these trips. This is why we're concerned. Like I've said in my past videos, and this won't be a long video because I want to make this serious point. If we continue, and here's the biggest point, to hide behind the lie that obviously is a lie and obviously is protecting a select few, then I'm telling you, we should be concerned. We're never going to evolve as a society, as a species, as a nation, as a country, as a people, right? Asgard isn't a place, it's a people. I'm just saying, this is nuts. It's what they're about, and then I also indicated that Julian Assange was supposedly, the rumors around, I'm not sure if this is actually happening. It would be interesting that Donald Trump and Julian Assange are supposed to meet at some point, and and whatever they're going to talk about could I'm just concerned that, like we all are, and I know this is in everybody's mind, and I'll say this is it same old, just protecting the elitists, protecting the elite bureaucrats, the elite congressional members, the elite judiciary members, the elite officials, the executive mayors and governors and presidents or whatever. It's just, it's not good. It's not good that we're not seeing anything. That's it. It's just not good that nothing's happening. I've heard, and we've been hearing it now, and this is the biggest thing that people are really concerned about, along with what I'm saying about Epstein. But it all kind of rolls up in one big ball. And I keep hearing it. I keep hearing it from just a ton of freaking people on Chrome and YouTube and everywhere, is there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. Nothing right here. It says C10 California 22, or CA 22. Nothing ever happens. They need to stop having these hearings and actually prosecute someone. That's the thing. That's what's going on. They're just not doing anything. And people are pissed. People are upset. What's this one from Bob Norberg, a.k.a. Birdman Bob? He says, I agree, carrot or stick. Expectation of gain, fear of loss without real consequences, nothing will change. Explain the history, psychology, and the concept of expectation of gain, fear of loss. Carrot versus the stick, wearing the hat of Einstein. Okay, I get it. Yeah, it's the bottom line is that I'm saying is we don't want to be stuck in that continuous cycle that the Demoncrats obviously were doing constantly, which was pontificate, which is a great word my buddy always uses. The hyperbolic narrative, the propaganda machine is still strong, and this is where we fail. This is where we fail as a people, as a country, as a species, as an existence. Like I've always said, if I'm a space alien traveler, right, and I'm able to cruise through the universe at a flip of a switch, go to galaxy or wherever I want, or maybe universe to universe, I don't fucking know. And then my thing is we hear about this planet called Earth or Terra something or whatever. Why the fuck would I want to go there with all these lying fucking pieces of shit that just haven't evolved yet? That's basically my point. Why would I want to go to a planet with a bunch of fucking dumb Cro-Magnon idiots that don't have the ability to grow and to be honest and to be, trust thyself, and if you can't, then there's a problem. And I think that's where we're at now, where everybody wants to see accountability. Everybody wants to see people being held accountable for their actions. When you hurt other people or where you damage other people, whether it's financially, socially, physically, emotionally, and maybe you did it on accident, maybe you, which I don't really believe the accident part, or maybe you just weren't really complicit with it, or you were trying to do it, you were just kind of negligent or part of it. Still, you chose to hang around with those wolves. You chose to hang around with those leeches. You chose to hang around with those blood-sucking ticks. Which is, I guess, what we've become. And that's my biggest concern, is that Trump and his cabinet are just going to do the same old. maybe, and I also stated this as well. I stated this also as well. I also stated that maybe, yes, he did. Maybe he did really kill himself, and they have to say that. But here's the thing. If you're in a high maximum prison cell, maximum, like strong, like this prison, and I don't remember the name of it, but you can look it up, was the video cameras never shut down, ever in its history. They always had maximum security. There hasn't been a problem there in a long time. He was in a cell that was easily watched. It wasn't far away. All of a sudden guards are gone. All of a sudden videotapes come down. It seems kind of convenient for somebody to be able to kill himself. Do you see what I mean? Maybe they took everything down so they would let him do it. Or, excuse me, they prepped, the question is how long? So let's just say somebody walked, I'm just going to throw out a scenario because this is what I'm thinking in my mind, which is the only conclusion that I can come up with. Mr. Epstein, I'm going to tell you right now, your time here is going to be forever. You could either do what you need to do to take care of yourself, and you have all the tools right here, or eventually we'll do it for you and we'll make your life and your family and whoever else on this planet a living hell. So we're going to turn off the cameras. We're going to shut everything down. We're going to step away and let you do your thing. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he really did get it was kind of a coercion process, or possibly some type of bullying, not bullying, the same thing. Or maybe they said that there it is. You either do it, or we're going to do it for you. I don't know. None of it makes sense. I just think that possibly that could be the case in regards to Epstein. Possibly, yeah. It's just none of it makes sense. And then, like I said, none of the Johns were ever brought to the trials. Epstein was supposed to go to trial. That would have definitely been revealed. See, you have to think of it that way. If Epstein was able to stand trial, then the discovery questions would have been, well, who are your clients? We need to find out. And he's either going to say, I plead the fifth, or he's going to come out and say it. But he knows that if he says anything, a lot of people are going to go down. Maybe some people that are in Congress now. Maybe some people that have had recent power now. We all know that. We all know that the reason why. We all know that the biggest reason why Jeffrey Epstein didn't attend or testify in his own trial is not just because he killed himself. It's because if he did, he would have opened Pandora's box and revealed everything. And then the prosecution, the defense, and everybody would have had no choice if he just blurted out a name, or if he blurted out a number, or if he blurted out association with one particular person of whatever stature, foreign, domestic, elitist type shit, fucking asshole, whatever prick that he's brought up, it would have exposed a lot, and they didn't want that to happen. Everybody knows that. You should know that. You should know, right? You don't want the Johns. They didn't want the Johns to get touched, because that's what's being protected are the Johns, and I hope that Kash and Dan Bonadingo and Kash Patel aren't protecting these people. As much respect or appreciation or whatever kind of theism you have upon that person, idolize this particular person, maybe you're thinking, well, I can't let this person go down. I'm not going to say it. That's not your job. Your job is to do the job and find out what really happened and bring it to our attention. right? Don't manufacture anything. Don't change anything, right? We just heard that there were 2 different bullets. 2 different bullets through John F. Kennedy. It's unequivocal. It's proven. It's done. Right? So that means that the original narrative, right, in the grassy knoll didn't fucking happen. And I mean, it's going to come out at some point. And some of those people that were involved are still alive. Some of those people are still alive. I mean, is that how we get the truth? We have to wait 25, 30, fucking 40 years? Is that the way it's supposed to work? No, that's not the way it's supposed to work. That's not why we voted for Donald Trump. That's not why we voted for all these people that we want in office, like Eric Schmidt, who I think is doing a great job, and then Josh Hawley, who for some reason is going after the insurance companies, which I could give a shit about right now. All we're hearing is, we're finding this, we're finding that, we're finding this, we're finding that. This is the amount of $1 million. This amount of billions of dollars are wasting. This amount of fraud. This amount, nothing, nobody. Nobody's being held accountable. There's not a fucking single charge, and we don't want to see a hearing. Hearings are fucking stupid. Nothing happens in these congressional hearings. It's once you bring them to a hearing, it's almost like you're saying, we're not going to do anything to this person. That's basically what it's saying. And you know it. You fucking know it. And we know it. And we're just sick of it. Right? And I mean, if another party needs to be created, like the Emerald Party, which I hear wants complete and total transparency, no hiding shit. And if you get your feeling hurt, or your career hurt, or whatever hurt, or your lineage hurt, or whatever, fuck off. You're the one that did the shit. And you deserve to go down. No. There might be another party that's actually going to bring true and absolute transparency, and then we can start to really evolve as a country. And then we can really start to make amends, real amends, with other nations, and start to really extend that olive branch and actually start to mend those relationships. Instead of, they know the shit we hide. You don't think they're people think, most of you think that they're all extremely naive of what we're doing here in the United States, but other countries know a little bit more than you think they do about us. A lot more. I think I'm hitting my points here. I think you guys understand. We want full accountability. We want this shit to fucking stop. We're sick of this bullshit. Either do it, either shit or get off the pot. We'll find somebody else. If we got to wait another fucking 4 years to get somebody that'll actually do what they're supposed to do, then we'll do it. Right? But all these guys, Tim Kash, so many people are pissed off. Anyway, I think that's my point. I'm going to end it with this, though. I got to show you this because I think this is important. If it's not a commercial, it's a commercial.
You sat next to Biden in the president took that debate stage, and it was later reported that you and other Democratic leaders were talking before the debate about having a plan. You and Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama. I understand you later denied that ever happened, but I am curious. I'm interested to know whether the man that you saw sitting there on that couch on that day, you were in there, you saw him up close and personal. Did you really not have any idea that he was not fit to serve a second term?
Casey, we're looking forward. We have the largest Medicaid cut in front of us. We have the whole federal
you're
government
facing all
at
of this
risk.
because you lost a presidential election. And
Look,
is that not Joe Biden's responsibility for deciding to run again?
We're looking forward.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, Senator Chuck Schumer, I know you got to go.
Tell me, Democratic Party supporters, all of you, and there's a bunch on my Facebook. What does that convey to you? Because hopefully it conveys the same thing that I'm sensing, through my cognitive thinking process, is they lied. They knew he was a wreck. They knew he was dementia. They knew he was sick. They knew he wasn't really running anything. And they kept lying. So what does that really say to you? Because I can tell you right now, Trump's pulling fucking a lot of his own strings. And I can guarantee you that Biden maybe pulled 2 in his 4 years that he was an illegitimate president. All right. Good luck with that. Yeah, accountability, man. Let's see it. We want accountability. All right? Real. We want transparency, and we're sick of the bullshit. 9/11. Just everything. But we have to grow. If we don't, we're fucked. We will be worse than the Roman Empire. I'm just saying. Remember, I said it first. Hopefully it doesn't come to fruition. Hopefully these guys get their shit together. And like that one guy said, Pam comes out and just says, here it is. We're fucking doing it. This guy's charged. This guy's being charged. That guy's being... I don't want to see any more fucking hearings. They're fucking retarded. And they're theater, dog and pony show bullshit. Allah.